Pregame.com.
Welcome back to pregame.tv. This is the final video of the weekend. We're going to take a look NBA playoffs, game one, the LA Lakers at the San Antonio Spurs. Ken, a lot of people didn't think the Lakers were going to get there. Kobe guaranteed it a couple months ago. Said we'll make the playoffs. You could bet yes or no here in Vegas if they were going to make it. Went down to the final night. They could have been out of the playoffs, the number 8 seed or the number 7 seed. They took it all the way to the number 7 seed against Houston in a game that the ending to that game, both teams just horrible. I don't think either team's going to be going far in the playoffs, Houston or the Lakers. There's actually some people now, because the Lakers won 2 games in a row, and all of a sudden Dwight Howard's become the factor, are trying to say that this team's better off without Kobe. Okay, I got to ask you, because that's been on all the talk shows this week. You're the radio host. What's your take, and what have you been hearing from people you talk to?
Yeah, first off, I really don't care what anybody else says. You can't be better without Kobe. Now, Kobe may have to change his style a little bit depending on who he's playing, but when it's last shot down the stretch, you're going to want Kobe to take that shot. Or the one thing I think Kobe really needs to work on is, as great as he is, be more like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan would draw that double team, and he'd find Paxson, he'd find Kerr or Horace Grant. He'd find that open guy, they'd knock it down because they felt his confidence coming over to them. Kobe won't do that. He'd force a double team shot that's off balance, and a lot of times comes back to haunt him.
Yeah. Dwight Howard, no question, he's woke up now the last couple games, and he sees this is an opportunity for him. Now, whether or not he wants to stay in L.A., that's yet to be determined. But if he puts his team on his back and they somehow get through this, he can sign his own paycheck for what he wants from L.A. LA's in a position to give him the most money. It's a question if he wants to be there. And Kobe, we don't know how long he's going to be out. And when he does come back, what percentage of Kobe is going to come back off of this injury. But I'll tell you, the guy that just doesn't get the respect, Paul Gasol, he has been 2 triple-doubles in the last 3 games. He's been the difference for them to get to the 7th seed. He was tremendous in that game. Yeah, Dwight Howard had the blocks, had the offensive rebounds. Both of them had offensive rebounds. But the difference in Gasol's game is he is that guy that will dish the ball and find the open guy. I watched that game on Wednesday night with a vested interest because I was on Houston. I wasn't happy. And in the first half, Houston had the blueprint, I thought, for beating the Lakers without Kobe. They packed it in a little tighter down low, try to deny that entry pass in to Howard or Gasol, and force the Lakers into a jump shooting team. The Lakers put up 14 3-pointers in the first quarter. You can't win hoisting that many 3-pointers. I mean, what have you seen from this Laker team without Kobe in the 2 games?
First off, down the stretch, the schedule makers were nice to the Lakers. They finished with 3 home games. That's the reason they're in the playoffs. Of course, Utah, their final 2 on the road, and that was where they met their Waterloo. But also, Pau Gasol, like you said, not getting the respect. Steve Blake has really stepped up his game. He's done a nice job. He's hit some really big shots at some crucial times. I think the Lakers, they surprised me making the playoffs, but I like the chemistry on the team without Kobe a little bit because everybody gets to touch the ball. And I think Kobe will learn from that. Again, coming back from an Achilles, he may be 80%, they're saying, when he does come back. He may get a different perspective of watching from the bench to realize, hey, I don't have to do that much. I'm up in years. Let me get other players involved, especially when I draw that double team. That's what made the Jordans great.
Going back to Blake, and there's no question he is what kept them in that first half because they were on the cusp of getting blown out of the game in the first half, and he had a big first half. But now that we've got 2 games, we've got game film of what the Lakers' new game plan, because we always talk about the injured player theory. When a superstar goes out, that first game after the injury, I always take the injured team because the rest of the team takes it up a notch. Your opponent mentally might have a little bit of a letdown. Hey, we don't have to face them with their star and this and that. So it's a perfect storm. Generally, the public's going to overreact to the line, betting against the injured team. So you got all the factors to take them. So it's a profitable situation. But now that we've got film, I think you're going to see Popovich break this film down and take some stuff away. And speaking of Popovich versus D'Antonio, come on.
No contest.
Yeah, that's a mismatch.
The only other thing before you give this as your free play, Marco, is that without Kobe out there, now the pressure is on Howard to knock down his free throws. He's had a game or two that he's done 65, 70%. That's okay. But now you're in the playoffs. You're opening on the road. You better knock him down because you don't have that Kobe that's going to be able to bring you back. And if you're going 40% from the line in San Antonio, good luck.
Yeah. Hey, this is my free pick. Let's make it official. All right, guys. Lakers, it's a great story. They backed their way into the playoffs. They stole the number 7 seed. Everybody said this is the matchup that's better for the Lakers is to play San Antonio. Yeah, that's true because San Antonio's not an athletic team like an Oklahoma City that's going to go up and down the floor on you. That's still a problem with this Laker team. Too many times in that Houston game, they didn't get back on defense. Yeah, when they get back and Howard's in position, they're tough to go inside. But I looked at a play like at the end of the first half of the game Wednesday night, 6 seconds left in the game. The Lakers just scored, and they go the length of the floor, coast to coast, and get a dribble layup down the lane. How does that happen? Right past the defense? Too many lapses like that. I also look at the situation. Yeah, Blake's had 2 good games, but I think Popovich is going to take a game plan. It's going to take him out of that. Yeah, Howard is going to get his points inside. Gasol, I think he's very underrated. He doesn't get the love that he should get with that team. He's been great, but they can't win the game with just those 2 guys. On Wednesday night, they had a big game from Blake, and they had a big game from Antoine Jamison off the bench. How many times is Jamison going to give you 16 points off the bench? I don't think so. San Antonio, they were just resting the last couple games. They knew they couldn't catch Oklahoma City. You're going to see the real Spurs in this one. I'm going to take San Antonio. I'm going to lay the points on Sunday. You know, it's a pricey number too, but San Antonio is going to win this series. Lakers, in my opinion, have no shot against San Antonio. Take San Antonio, lay the points on Sunday. I've got them winning by 12 or more. That's my free pick. He's Ken Thomson. I'm Marco D'Angelo. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll be back next week. Playoff action, baseball action. It'll be all here on pregame.tv, and the other crew, Vegas Runner, Steve Fezzik, and Brian Leonard will be back early in the week next week as they break down their games for you, all here on pregame.tv.